Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Good afternoon. Today is August 9th, 2020, and I wanted to do another episode for the podcast. Episode number 18 begins right now. Let's go. You're listening to the New Wave Real Talk podcast, and I'm your host, Raymond Riley. This podcast is everything Black culture, covering the latest topics in politics and entertainment.
If you have
Thank you
sat
for
in
listening.
office and haven't done a thing to further the cause of African American people in your community, then you do not deserve to hold that office. Period. A referendum on the status quo.
All right, I gotta get some music going here, man. I gotta get in the vibe here. So let me set this conversation up. Today's episode is going to be in response to exactly what's going on with the United States government. We have our Congress in opposition of our president, which is not too surprising in this climate that we're in. But real people, real lives are in play right now. Real lives are in play. I'm going to give you my raw and candid opinion about what is going on right now when it comes to the second coronavirus relief stimulus package. I'm going to keep it 100% with you guys. This isn't partisan. This is just real talk. Let's get into it. All right. So here I am as a United States citizen in the middle of the worst pandemic since 1910 that we have ever seen. The only pandemic that many people have ever seen in our whole lives. And we are in a country that is founded on the premise of being the richest country in the world. But yet, we are in a situation where the citizens of this country is now going to fall victim to the chaotic leadership of this country. Democracy is a great thing, and I don't take anything away from the type of government we have in the United States. I think that it is a very aggressive form of government that gives everybody the right to be heard. But for some reason, we have elected a body of people that only see their part in all of this as a job, as a means to an end. And here's why I say that. How can you be a representative or a senator from any state in this union and take this opportunity to play politics? How dare you? Real lives, real consequences. And you are saying, I don't give a damn about your real life, and I don't give a damn about your circumstance. All I care about is getting what I want. And that's where we are. I posted on my social media page, I think last night or the night before, and I said that this is a very sad day to be a Democrat. And I want to go on record and tell you why I said that and why I feel that way. It is a very sad day to be a Democrat because our leadership in the Democratic Party is not putting people first. They're not putting people first. And here's why I say you're not putting people first. There is no way that there should have not been an extension or some form of new bill passed in relation to the coronavirus and the relief to the citizens. And for the Democratic Party to be holding out as a political stunt, in my opinion, because this has nothing to do with people anymore. This is all about, I want to get my way, and if I can't have my way, then there's no way. And I don't think that that is the best form of government for the American people. We elected people to go to Washington and to create laws for the benefit of this country, and the country is made up of citizens. So for the benefit of the citizens. So you're still getting your salary. You're still getting your salary. You're still getting your detail for your security. You're still getting your medical benefits. You're still getting all of these luxuries that the American people are providing to you. But for some reason, you can't give the American people a package and a bill to protect their ability to stay out of poverty, to stay out of homelessness, and to stay out of starvation. So I am upset at the fact that our party, my party that I have voted for ever since I have been a voter, has chosen to play politics at this time. I watched an interview this morning, and the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi spoke to Dana Bash with CNN. You guys can go and watch the video. I will go on record and say this. I watch both CNN and Fox avidly, the same. I watch them the same. I give them the same amount of watch time because I am the type of person that I believe in seeing things for yourself and getting your own understanding. I am not a political pundit or a soundbite type of a person. I don't take your soundbite as facts. I don't take what the CNN narrative is as fact. I don't take what the Fox News narrative is as a fact. I watch both. I do my research, and I come to my own opinion. And my opinion in this matter is that our Democratic Party is playing politics at a time that politics should not even be a part of the question. Real lives, real consequences, real people. And I am talking to the Democratic Congress because I personally believe that they are the ones that are holding this up. The Republican Party has obviously a part to play in it because it's both parties that will have to come to an agreement. But I hold my party at a higher standard than I do the others. The party that the role that I have played to elect these individuals to serve me, I hold them to a higher regard. I didn't vote for the Republican Party. I voted for a candidate on the Democratic Party, within the Democratic Party. So yes, my anger, my frustration is going to go to the people that I have duly elected to serve us. So we have the Democratic Party playing politics at a time that's very important. So I watched the interview with Nancy Pelosi, House Speaker Pelosi, with Dana Bash on CNN today. And my honest and raw opinion about it is House Speaker Pelosi has tenure. House Speaker Pelosi has money. House Speaker Pelosi is trying to basically embarrass the President of the United States. That's to me. But in this situation, I think that the Democratic Party is now going to become the victim of this ploy. Because now you have the President of the United States actually trying to do something, whereas the Democrats are saying all or nothing. This is just my opinion. My opinion. You can do your own research and you can come to your own opinion and your own conclusion. And I believe that we all should be more involved in that fact, in looking at the facts and coming into your own opinion versus looking at CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Do your own research. But what I have gathered is that Nancy Pelosi is playing a game. Chuck Schumer is playing a game. But the game is with real people's lives. You have people that are now going to be facing a hard reality. And that hard reality is not being able to provide for their family, not being able to have shelter because they're going to be threatened with evictions. They're going to be threatened with starvation. They're going to be threatened with all of these things. And I just don't understand how you, as the leader of the Democratic Party, the House of Representatives, and Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate is a minority right now. So I get it. But how can we accept nothing? Let's talk about the unemployment benefit that ran out at the end of July. Today is August 9th. We have went a whole week in the month of August. And the Democratic Party the Democrats apparently hasn't done enough. I understand politics is not an easy game, but I would think that in this time that people would get their heads out of their fourth point of contact and that they would actually do what is important to lead people to a better way. That is what government is for. Government is to aid and assist the citizens of the country. And in our situation today, our government is acting as a bank robber. They're holding the American people hostage in a situation that the American people had no control of. We didn't ask to be in the middle of a pandemic. Nobody asked for this. So if you're not going to give people the relief, then you have to be accountable for that. You have to be accountable for that. And so I put on my social media that I was very disappointed, and it was a sad day for being a Democrat, because when I watched the president of the United States, a person that I did not vote for, who I do not support, who I think is all of these extreme things, but I watched a press conference of the president of the United States tear into the Democratic Party. He tore into them so bad. And I couldn't even say he was lying, factually, because we did not have a deal from the Democratic Party that was agreed to. Everything that the Republican Party gave them, they denied it. So you have this one-sided conversation on the interview on Saturday, press conference on Saturday, when the president of the United States says, well, I'm sad to report to the American people that one party in our government is not in agreement with making sure that you are getting the relief that you need. A person that everyone in this country, not everyone, a majority in this country vilify. He was the person to come out now and actually call them out. I'm not saying everything he said was right. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, why did my party, the Democratic Party, why did you give him that opportunity to do that? And why aren't you doing more? Why did you go on a 3-day vacation last week when your constituents are pretty much hung out to dry? Why is that? Why is it now that we have given the president the upper hand to be the savior, which I don't care who the savior is. I don't care who the savior is. The people need help. That's just a matter of fact. That's just a reality. And if it's going to come from Donald Trump, damn it, it comes from Donald Trump. But why did you give him that opportunity to do that? He is the president of the United States. So realistically speaking, he should be the leader. He should be the one forging from the front, forging ahead from the front, not leading from the back. So, but that was the sentiments of what I posted and how I feel. So let's talk about what the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. Now this is all based on I'm doing my raw commentary based upon my feelings as of Saturday. As of Saturday, listening to the press conference from the president of the United States, and to hear him say that we do not have a deal because of these things. And this is where my commentary is coming from. So that's just a matter of fact. So we have our president says, okay, we don't have a deal because of these things. The Democratic Party did not want to give K through 12 funding. unless so he went into this bill, which I think was probably one of Donald Trump's more organized briefings, because I actually was able to make sense of it. But he started to go through a list of things that the Democratic Party wanted to have in the bill before they would agree to it. Things like voter suppression. I get voter suppression is important. I get that. I did a whole show on it. I believe that it's something that we got to take serious. But you can't put everything in one bill every single time and try to be, you're pretty much stonewalling. You're stonewalling the process. We're talking about coronavirus relief, and you're talking about voter suppression. I get it. I know that those are things that are important, but don't use this opportunity that are killing people in ways, financially killing people, mentally killing people, emotionally killing people. Not knowing when you're going to get money is depressing. That can drive you into a whole mess. That's not anything to play with. So when you're talking about all of these other things that have nothing to do with the imminent issue right now, today, people not being able to provide food for their family today, people not having enough money to pay their light bill today. We're not talking about things that are in the future. If that's the case, you should have worked your ass off to get it passed before now. Why are you trying to get it passed now? And why are you using that to hold up a relief that people need today? Okay, that was my sentiments. That's my problem with that. And I think most logical people would have a problem with that. I mean, we're talking about a coronavirus that are killing people right now. We're talking about the impacts of the coronavirus today. And you want to talk about voter suppression, which is an important issue. I'm not downplaying that issue at all. But what I'm saying is there's a time and a place. Then the president said that, hey, they don't. They also want, the signatures removed off of the mail-in ballots. All of this stuff that's geared towards the election, and I get it. But I just don't agree with the way in which it is happening. And I don't support Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer holding the American people hostage because they're not getting their way in every aspect of it. Give the people a stimulus check to stimulate the economy like you did before. Give people an extension to the end of the year on the employment benefits if you are still on unemployment. Because you're talking about people that may not even be able to go back to work. If you're able to go back to work and you feel like you want to go back to work because if you feel like you trust that you're not going to die by catching the coronavirus, then go back to work. But if you feel like you're going to die if you catch the coronavirus, then why should you be forced to go back to work? So in essence, it could be that Chuck and Nancy want us to die from going back to work. And because if you're not giving people a resource to live off of in the meantime, then you're giving them the only other option, which is to put yourself in harm's way by going back to work, if that's how you feel. If you feel that going back to work is going to put you in harm, then Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are basically telling you to go back to work. So I just don't agree with the way the Democratic Party dropped the ball and allowed President Trump to pretty much berate them on last Saturday and tear them apart. And then to hear what Joe Biden said, I mean, this week for politics as a Democrat has been freaking exhausting. I don't give a damn what you say. It has been exhausting to be a Democrat this week because we had the presumptive Democratic nominee, Joe Biden, pretty much say that black people ain't diverse and that we're all the fucking same. Excuse my language. I said I wasn't going to curse in this podcast. I really did. So I wasn't going to curse in this podcast. But this is what he said this. So it is exhausting right now to be a young, woke Democrat, whatever word you want to use, but a socially aware Democrat that's actually following what the hell is going on around me. And to see all of these things that are going on, it's just crazy. And I personally think that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer really need to get it together And if you cannot, and they're on vacation. I mean it's just amazing. I'm not trying to be extra. I'm not trying to be animated. I'm just giving y'all my raw feelings in this situation because I feel like it's just bull crap. I feel like it's crap that you can get to go on vacation and then play politics with real people's lives, with our money. If you're a taxpayer in this country, that's your money that they holding hostage. Like I don't get that. I mean, can somebody please comment on this video and let me know if I'm losing my mind? Like if I'm just crazy to expect the people that I put in office to serve me and to serve my best interests. And the coronavirus relief bill needs to be a relief bill about coronavirus. I am with the president on that. I think that makes sense. That makes sense. We're talking about coronavirus today. If you had a problem with all of these voter suppression things, half of y'all done been in Congress for 40 damn years. So why is it now that you're going to hold the American people up from getting the help, the desperate help that some people need? Personally, for me, I'm good. But this is for people who aren't good. My viewpoint and my commentary is coming from a standpoint of a single black mother or a single Hispanic mother or a single white mother that does not have any other means because of this coronavirus. Their businesses have been taken away from them. Their livelihood has been taken away from them. And then you sit your ass up there in Washington and play politics with people's lives. And then you expect it to be okay because I'm a Democrat. I'm supposed to agree with every damn thing you do? No, that's not how it should work. And that is a part of a baseline problem with, our political system. People don't take the time to think for themselves and get their own conclusion. But I'm not that guy. I'm going to tell you how I feel and why I feel that way. If you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Nancy Pelosi, you're wrong. You should not have let any of your party members, House of Representatives, Chuck Schumer, y'all senators, y'all should have stayed in Washington, D.C. I don't give a damn if it was just for show, but you should have stayed in Washington, D.C., and you should have stayed there until there was a plan. And when the president press conference got on there talking about all of these things that y'all requested, you should have been able to report back to us and say he's a lie. We took all of those things away, and they still didn't approve just what was relevant to coronavirus. If the Republican Party denied those, then they are dang on wrong. But from all of the research that I have done, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party disagreed on two things. They disagreed on the unemployment benefits. Nancy Pelosi stated in her interview today that Donald Trump the Republican Party only wanted to agree to $200 increase on the employment benefits, which was just crap. But if that is the case, Nancy Pelosi, what I would ask her, which Dana Bash actually asked her in the interview, she said, would you be agreeing to $400? And guess what Nancy Pelosi said? Madam Speaker, guess what she said? I am not going to debate that with you. I'm not going to negotiate politics with you on CNN. Why aren't you? Why aren't you? How dare you basically say that she's wrong for getting you to dang on compromise? You work for Dana if she's a Democrat. You work for us. So why would you say I'm not gonna dare negotiate that on TV? That's the problem. That's a part of the problem. And so I think that we have to take a hard look at the Democratic Party. And like I said, my only sentiments from this podcast, guys, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this in your car, driving down the street, and you're thinking and you're trying to gather your thoughts because I have pretty much talked bad about the Democratic Party as a Democrat. So now you're probably trying to process, is he a Trump Republican? I mean, is he a Trump supporter? Is he not a Trump supporter? Is he a moderate? Is he a liberal? I am a real freaking person that's living a real life in the United States of America that follow politics, and I am socially aware. That's who I am, and that's what I am. So, all I want to say is it was exhausting as hell to be a Democrat this week. And if Joe Biden, I just, and maybe it's the same sentiments to a lot of people. I'm just not happy. I'm not happy with the candidate that we have for the Democratic Party. I'm not excited about Joe Biden. Not at all. But I understand the need for the country to heal from the division that has been sowed from the president himself and from the lack of leadership from the president. So I get the importance of this election, but it is draining when you see politicians, whether Democrat or Republican, that use us and use our lives and use the real experiences that we're living as a game in this weird thing that we call politics. Like, for some of them, this is just my opinion, and this is just based on what I've seen. For you to get on national TV and basically say, I will not negotiate this, I will not say where I stand, that lets me know that you don't give a fuck. I hate to say it that way, but that's how I feel. It lets me know that you don't give a damn and it's not serious to you. And you're only going to talk about it to people that you want to talk to it about. You want to get on TV and you want to placate. You want to have this nice interview for a soundbite. But we're talking about real lives, real people, real situations. You know? So thank y'all for letting me vent, man. Thank y'all for sticking. If you stuck with it, hopefully you didn't take my words out of context. I'm sure I'll get a text from here and there asking me, am I okay? But, keep it in context and understand that you should think for yourself. That's how this whole podcast got started. Believe it or not. So I thank y'all for listening to episode 18. And I'll see you this Friday coming up. This is going to count as my midweek podcast. Hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you on Friday. Y'all take care. And also, if you want to, tag this for all the political pundits. And let's have a conversation. I'm not afraid of that at all. Drop your comments in the box for all of you guys that are watching it live. And for all of you guys that are listening to it on the podcast in your car, heading to wherever you're going, go over to YouTube or the Facebook page and comment on the video and let me know what your thoughts are. I'm just very curious to see how other people are thinking about this week in particular that we had to endure as Democrats. I'll see you on the next one. You guys take care. Peace.